Hello, my loves. Hello, beautiful people. Please tell me I'm not the only one who has, I need it done now. I don't have time for this. When is it actually going to happen in my vocabulary? Because I don't want to feel alone. So when those thoughts come to mind, I say to myself, and I'm saying to you too, is just remember, if we got everything when we wanted it, odds are things would be chaotic and it would be nothing like how we really wanted it to be. So in a nice way, what I'm saying is we probably would crash and burn. That's honestly the truth. Because like it or not, there is a beauty and a necessity when it comes to building things up. It creates a foundation that's not easily torn down. But then here's the thing. Here's the secret that I learned is that nothing is instantaneous and timing is everything. Timing is so important. All of the people that I look up to, it took them time to get there. It wasn't instantaneous. At least for the things that I look at, it takes them a good 5-7 years. It wasn't quick at all. So I don't know why in my head I have this rationale that sometimes it should be quicker than the process really is, because it's not supposed to be. So if you have that same mentality as me, those same thought process, just know our thinking is kind of flawed here. But I will say that there are some trends that I have noticed, steps that I have had to go through to recognize that I am truly falling in the right place and I am on the right track of being there, even if it's not happening exactly when I want it to happen. So let's talk about some of those steps. So the first one is trying too hard. When something is supposed to be for you, you don't have to try that hard. When it's your time and everything falls the way it's supposed to fall, you do not have to give all this extra energy as if you don't truly belong in that space. To the point, it doesn't even feel organic anymore. It doesn't feel like I'm being authentically myself. And honestly, I'm exerting all this energy and pushing things faster than they need to go, and I'm not going to get there right now anyway. It's okay to trust the process. It is okay to wait, but at the same time, understand when you also need to push forward as well to better yourself. Does that make sense? Then I shift over into this phase where I'm really obsessing about this thing, almost as if I'm creating this world in my head that I'm already there. And you see a lot of people talk about fake it till you make it, make sure that, you are acting as that person that you want to be in the future. And I'm not discrediting that, but I'm also saying at the same time is that sometimes, at least for me, I can get into my head to think I'm already there and I'm not. And it distracts me from my goal, if that makes sense. It doesn't really put me where I need to be. I'm literally living it out in my head instead of living it out in the real world. It just doesn't help me, and that's just another stage I recognize I go through that. And then when I start to shift out of that stage, I realize that there is still so much more to learn, and it is okay to continue to learn in whatever craft or skill that I am doing, because honestly, the more I start to learn, the more I appreciate. And the more I appreciate, I know that I will not take it for granted when I get it. I want you guys to think of any time where you just got something instantaneously just cause that, I'm not going to say you didn't earn, but at the same time, you didn't necessarily put in the work for it. Not too much work, but just put in enough work for it to be satisfying enough. It almost is like, it doesn't hold the same weight. Y'all ever had a moment where you're thanking the gods that you now have the ability to do something because something else happened previously to prepare you for that moment? And if you didn't have that instance happen, you would have literally been lost. Yeah. That's because it wasn't your time. It was not your time. It was not my time. It wasn't the time. Oh my gosh. Ignore me. And then I get into my last phase when I realize I'm shifting out of the wanting to be and now being in, and it's the perfect time, is that I realize things don't look like how I thought they were going to look. I think our brain has a tendency to romanticize things and think that things are going to be perfect, and sometimes it isn't. Or there are certain external factors that I would have never even thought about. And it's really crazy when it comes to fruition and you realize all of that obsessing that you were doing, all of that fantasizing, all of the planning that you did inside your head looks nothing like what it truly is. Or maybe you do know. I don't know. This is just me. Maybe I have this like happy world in my head, and sometimes it doesn't have all the elements that I should have expected. But nevertheless, when I feel like it's truly time to embrace that perfect timing, there's a couple of feelings that I start to get to know. This is it. This is when you need to push. And so I'm telling you guys, if you are feeling these feelings, it's time to push. It's time to go full-fledged. You are good. You are ready. You're okay. So the first one, speaking of, is readiness. You feel equipped. You don't feel lost. You don't feel like people are miles ahead of you. And you start to feel comfortable in your own surroundings. Which brings me to my next one, is when you get comfortable, you start to get into this vibe. And I've said it once and I will say it again. There is something about vibes and energy that you just can't fake. You can't replicate. It's truly this comfort or discomfort that just lets you know that either something is going right or something is going wrong in that moment. And it's something about vibing, the ebbs and flows, that lets you just say, hey, it's reaffirming once again that you are supposed to be here. This is where you are the best self of you. And this is the right time. Which leads me to my next one, is reinforcing your confidence. When you are truly in the right space, it gets to the point where you're starting to feel yourself a little bit, because you're in your own lane, your own sector, right? And it's starting to feel like, oh yeah, like we going. We good. It's cool. And it's just boosting you up, because once again, if you're truly good at whatever it is you're doing or wherever it is you are seeking to have the perfect time in, you're confident, right? Because you are ready, you're prepared, you're feeling the vibes, you are in the right space. So your confidence should be shooting through the roof. Okay, I'm sorry. And then lastly, I start to feel like I'm truly fitting in and I am contributing back to whatever it is. And you know what? Sometimes that process is slow. I'm not going to hold you. And then other times it could be quicker than others, but I have to remind myself that just because it didn't happen overnight does not mean that I am not meant to have that. I am not meant to be here. I am not meant to obtain that thing. It just means it might take a little longer, and that there are things in the future that I have the possibility to sustain, if you know what I mean. Because baby, once I get in there, I'm not letting it go. Because we work hard for what we want, but not too hard till we drive ourselves crazy. And then we make sure that we are doing it in the perfect time. So guys, please understand, if you want to be successful in the thing that you are doing, it's not just going to take skills, and it's not just going to take opportunity. It's going to take a mixture of both. So recognize that there is a perfect time for everything. You just make sure that you look out for when your time is coming, because it's coming. So please don't give up, because it's coming for you. And as long as you tell yourself that, child, you're going to be just okay. So guys, if you have made it to the end of this video, thanks for rocking with me. And I hope that you find your perfect timing, because I'm looking out for mine. So I need you to look out for yours. But anyways, make sure that you like and comment and subscribe so that you know when I post new videos, and even hit that bell to know every time I post a video, because I'm also posting shorts as well each week. And I will see you in my next one. Bye.